Okay, this is a it's a short video about the flash um, flash carts, I guess you could call them, for the Game Gear. And so this is my SMS programmer, my master system. You put this in, and these are flash carts. And so Game Gear and master system are basically the same connections. And so ordinarily, and what other people that make Game Gear flash carts, they say you have to harvest this connector from a Game Gear, and that's a lot of trouble. And so one of the newer versions of our Game Gear boards is is where you don't need that original connector. Let's see. So this says Game Gear parts. So we can put this in right here, just like this. A little window pops up, and there's your so it's flash, Game Gear. So I can delete it or download it or drag and drop to a program. And so just like the master systems that we currently use and sell, so I'm not going to do them both at the same time, but so this is our Game Gear flash card. Now, if you notice, this is our normal Game Gear where you'd put the EEPROM in, and solder it on. And so this right here is just a flash adapter, so I think it's 1 megabyte. So this just goes in place of where the EEPROM would normally go. And that basically makes this a flash cart. Now, you still have to set this jumper, like if you're going to program a 1 megabyte game, then you need to bridge this jumper. And so, let's see if I can get so, and then this other pad set there is for a FRAM. So the battery, we don't need a battery for the FRAM. So if you got a Game Gear where you didn't have any of these parts here that are required to save your data, and of course it doesn't need a battery here either, you could mount an FRAM part here, and it would, save your data. This one part takes the place of all this. So anyway, so that's on the adapter. The EEPROM, or the ROM, is a locally available. Let's see if I can zoom in. It's a common 1 megabyte flash ROM, that 5 volts, that's available today. I think you can use the 2 megabyte version also, even though only 1 megabyte of it would be accessible. And there's basically 2 versions of this adapter. The other version uses the older legacy part, the 29F080. So this is basically the same adapter, just a different ROM. So anyway, so this thing just mounts where the ROM would normally go, plus you have 2 extra connections there on the end. And so, the capacitors aren't needed unless you have other parts there. So anyways, so that's the flash version of the cart, without needing an original Game Gear connector. So which is kind of the main impediment for people making and selling and using, Game Gear flash parts, is because you need that connector. So don't get me wrong, the earlier versions of this, I harvested a connector, and it programs fine with the case. And then this programmer also has, the holes. So if you wanted to mount an original Game Gear connector, you could. It's all right there. And so, but this just shows that you don't need to do that. So, all right, well, that's it.